Here's a little snail crawling across this display board at snail's pace. I guess we could do the math. Probably a couple of inches a minute, several yards an hour if it kept up this snail's pace. Mucus works pretty good. Has a great scientific name, Helix vulgaris, which means common curly thing. The shell, of course, is for protection. When the embryonic snail starts early on, it's all straight. And then as the embryo develops, it coils, a very unique strategy in the animal world. So its innards are all coiled up inside that shell. So it's a hermaphrodite. Hermaphroditic animals have both male and female organs, has sperm-producing structures, egg-producing structures in the same animal. They do have to find a mate. They don't self-fertilize. But finding a mate normally isn't that difficult. It produces mucus, kind of slides across the little mucus surface. Needs to be in a moist situation. However, when things dry out in the environment, it crawls or squeezes back inside the shell and puts a little crusty covering over it so it can survive dry days. I've got a hold of this little snail. Not too happy, but you can see him trying to get upright. You can also locate underneath the edge of the shell a little opening which goes into a respiratory chamber which needs to be kept moist so there can be an oxygen exchange. Doesn't need a lot of oxygen. He's not real active, but he needs enough. And so there's lots of room inside there for a moist chamber of oxygen exchange. He's got himself a hold of my finger. Whoa! Bummer. Let's try again. Notice the bottom, nice and slick, lots of good muscles in there. That underneath portion is called the foot. You can see he's got lots of little sensory structures on his anterior end. Now, right underneath those two little feelers is the mouth. And mainly it's a vegetarian. It has a little structure called the radula, which is like a tongue with teeth on it. And the radula scrapes and scrunches vegetable material. If you've ever had aquarium snails, you can see how they'll scrape right down through the algae on the glass with their little teethy tongue, the radula. It's a feature of most of the mollusks. Escargot in France. This is the same species that's eaten as a delicacy. Right here in town you can locate meals of escargot. No bones, just meat, flesh, garlic and butter. Helix vulgaris. Here in the chaparral.